morning inside the corporate office. Soft sunlight pours through the glass windows while employees gradually settle into another workday. Computer screens glow across the workspace. Coffee cups rest beside keyboards. Quiet conversations drift between desks as phones begin ringing and printers hum to life. Emma knows Rian. Emma knows Sophia. She sees both of them almost every day. She greets them every morning. She works in the same office. And that's exactly why her next realization feels so frustrating. She has no idea what either of them actually does. As Emma walks toward her desk, she notices Rian finishing a phone call near the client accounts area. A few seconds later, Sophia walks into a meeting room carrying several project folders. Both seem busy, both seem confident, both seem important. But important for what? The question catches Emma completely off guard. She knows their names, she knows their personalities, she can hold conversations with them. Yet she still doesn't understand their responsibilities. And the more she thinks about it, the bigger the problem becomes. If something went wrong today, who should she ask for help? Emma reaches her desk but doesn't sit down. Instead, she looks around the office. Employees move naturally between departments. Some head toward meetings. Others stop briefly to exchange updates before continuing their work. Nobody appears confused. Nobody appears lost. Everyone seems to understand exactly where they belong. Everyone except Emma. For the first time since joining the company, she realizes that understanding English and understanding the workplace are two completely different skills. Mr. Carter steps out of a nearby meeting room carrying his tablet. He notices Emma standing beside her desk, deep in thought. "You look stuck."
Can I ask you something without sounding completely lost?
That's usually the best kind of question.
What exactly does Rian do?
Mr. Carter looks genuinely surprised.
You've worked beside him for over a week.
I know. That's why this feels embarrassing. I know Rian. I know Sophia. But if you asked me what either of them actually does all day, I'm not sure I'd give the right answer.
A small smile appears on Mr. Carter's face. Not because Emma is confused, because she's finally asking the question that almost every new employee eventually asks.
That's completely normal. Most people learn names first. Responsibilities come later.
How much later?
Usually right after they realize they're confused.
Which is apparently today.
Exactly. And that's actually good news.
How?
Because the company is finally starting to look bigger than your desk.
Emma looks around the office once again. This time she sees something different. Not desks, not computers, not meeting rooms. People. People solving problems. People sharing information. People helping other departments. People doing jobs she doesn't yet understand. The office suddenly feels much larger than it did a few minutes ago.
Come with me.
Where are we going?
We're going to solve your mystery.
Emma follows Mr. Carter toward the main hallway. A few minutes ago, she thought today's challenge would be remembering names. She was wrong. Remembering names would be easy. By the end of the day, she'd be trying to remember departments, responsibilities, locations. And one important lesson that every experienced employee already seemed to know. Who does what matters just as much as knowing their name. And Emma was about to find out why. The office grows busier as the morning continues. Employees move between departments carrying documents and laptops. Meeting rooms begin filling with small groups preparing for discussions. Phones ring occasionally across the workspace. A few minutes after leaving her desk, Emma follows Mr. Carter through the office. She expects a formal tour. Instead, The office continues operating exactly as it always does. People are working, meetings are starting, problems are being solved. And somewhere inside all that activity, Emma is supposed to figure out who does what. As they walk past several workstations, a familiar voice catches Emma's attention. Rian is speaking on the phone. His tone sounds professional, but relaxed. "Good morning." "Yes, I understand. Let me check that for you. One moment, please." Rian glances toward Sophia's desk. Sophia is reviewing project documents nearby. Without ending the call, Rian walks over and quietly asks her something. Sophia checks a document, points to a page, and gives him a quick answer. A few seconds later, Rian returns to the call.
Thank you for waiting. I just confirmed the latest update. The project is still on schedule. We'll send the revised timeline this afternoon. Perfect. You're welcome. Have a great day.
The entire conversation lasts less than 2 minutes, but Emma notices something important. The client contacted Rian. Rian immediately contacted Sophia. Neither of them did the same job. Yet both were involved in solving the problem.
I think I understand now.
Do you?
The client called Rian because he communicates with clients, but Rian still needed information from Sophia.
Exactly.
So Sophia manages the project details, and Rian communicates those details to the client.
Now you're starting to see how the pieces connect.
Emma looks around the office again. For the first time, the workplace feels less random. Until now, everyone seemed to be doing different tasks for different reasons. Now she begins noticing connections. Questions move from one person to another. Information moves between departments, and every role seems linked to another role somewhere else in the company. Sophia notices them standing nearby and walks over.
Everything all right?
Actually, yes. I think I just learned something.
Hopefully something useful.
A few minutes ago, I thought you and Rian had almost the same job.
And now?
Now I know I was completely wrong.
Sophia. Rian shakes his head. Neither of them seems surprised. Apparently, Emma isn't the first new employee to make that mistake.
Ready to continue?
I think so. Although, I have a feeling I'm about to discover how many other things I've misunderstood.
That's usually how learning works.
Emma follows Mr. Carter farther down the hallway. One question has finally been answered. But the office is full of departments, full of responsibilities, and full of people whose jobs still remain a mystery. The next lesson would be even more challenging. The office becomes busier as the morning progresses. Employees move in and out of meeting rooms, carrying laptops and notebooks. Conversations drift through the hallways while printers hum steadily in the background. After leaving Rian and Sophia behind, Emma follows Mr. Carter farther into the office. The hallway opens into a larger area connecting several departments. Employees pass by from different directions. Some stop briefly to exchange information. Others continue walking without slowing down. For a moment, Emma feels as if she's standing in the center of a busy train station. Everyone seems to know exactly where they're going. Everyone except her.
How does everyone remember where everything is?
The same way people learn a new city, one street at a time.
Right now, this city feels very large.
That's because you're trying to understand everything at once. Nobody learns an office that way.
Mr. Carter stops beside a large directory mounted near the hallway. The directory shows different departments, meeting rooms, and work areas spread throughout the building. Emma studies it carefully. At first glance, it looks simple. Then she notices how many departments are listed. Marketing, finance, human resources, operations, client services, information technology. The list keeps going.
Please tell me there's not going to be a test later.
There definitely won't be a test.
That sounded suspiciously specific.
Good. You're learning.
Emma laughs. A few employees walk past them carrying documents between departments. Mr. Carter points toward the movement around them.
Look around. Most people think departments work separately. They don't. Marketing depends on information from other teams. Finance depends on updates from project teams. Client services depends on communication from almost everyone. An office only works when departments share information.
So they're all connected.
Exactly. That's why understanding people is more important than memorizing locations.
Emma watches as an employee leaves one department, speaks briefly with another team, and then continues down the hallway. For the first time, the office starts feeling less like a maze and more like a system. Every department seems to have a purpose. Every purpose seems connected to another.
I think I understand the idea.
Good. Because the next challenge is understanding where those connections actually happen.
That doesn't sound easier.
It isn't.
Mr. Carter starts walking again. Emma follows. A few minutes ago, she thought learning names would solve her confusion. Now she realizes names are only one piece of a much larger picture. And somewhere ahead, another lesson is waiting. The office continues buzzing with activity. Employees move between departments carrying laptops, notebooks, and folders. Meeting room doors open and close as conversations and presentations begin throughout the building. After explaining how the departments work together, Mr. Carter decides it's time for Emma to stop observing and start participating. Because understanding an office is one thing. Navigating it is something else entirely. Mr. Carter stops near a hallway intersection and hands Emma a folder.
I need a small favor.
That sentence always makes me nervous.
Good. That means you're paying attention.
What's the favor?
Please take this folder to Sophia. She'll need it before her meeting starts.
That sounds easy enough.
Excellent. I'll meet you near the conference room in a few minutes.
Mr. Carter walks away. Emma looks at the folder, then looks down the hallway, then looks down another hallway. Suddenly, the task feels much less simple. A few minutes ago, she was listening. Now, she's responsible for finding someone. And she realizes something important. She has no idea where Sophia's meeting room is.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Emma starts walking. At first, she feels confident. Then she reaches a hallway with 3 different meeting rooms. Conference room A, conference room B, training room. None of them look familiar. She checks the folder. No room number, no meeting details, nothing helpful. Emma stops outside one of the conference rooms. Through the glass wall, several employees are preparing for a meeting. Sophia isn't one of them. Wrong room. Emma continues searching. For the first time all morning, the office feels like a maze. Every hallway looks similar. Every meeting room looks important. And every confident employee walking past makes her feel slightly more lost. A familiar voice suddenly calls out from behind her.
Looking for someone?
Was it that obvious?
You walked past the same hallway twice.
I was conducting research.
Of course you were. What happened?
Mr. Carter asked me to give this folder to Sophia. The problem is that I don't know where Sophia is.
Second floor meeting area, room 204. She's preparing for the project review.
You knew that immediately.
That's because I work with her. Remember? People, responsibilities, connections. That's basically today's lesson.
Emma smiles. For a moment, the conversation reminds her of what Mr. Carter said earlier. Understanding people isn't only about remembering names, it's also about knowing who knows what and where to find them.
Thanks, Rian.
Good luck. The second floor is less confusing. Most of the time.
A few minutes later, Emma finally finds the correct meeting room. Sophia is reviewing documents inside. Emma hands over the folder. A simple task, yet somehow it feels like a small victory. Because this time, she didn't just learn about the office, she successfully navigated it.
Found me eventually.
The word eventually is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Welcome to office life.
As Emma leaves the meeting room, her confidence grows slightly. Unfortunately, Mr. Carter's next challenge would require more than finding the right room. It would require remembering everything she had learned so far. And that challenge was coming sooner than she expected.
Late morning inside the office. The hallways remain busy as employees move between meetings. Conversations continue around workstations while project discussions take place behind glass conference room walls. After successfully finding Sophia's meeting room, Emma feels more confident. Not completely confident, but confident enough to believe she's finally understanding how the office works. Unfortunately, the office has one final surprise waiting for her. Information. A lot of information. A few minutes later, Emma rejoins Mr. Carter near a workspace overlooking several departments.
How did it go?
I found Sophia, eventually.
That's all that matters.
Actually, I'm starting to feel better about this.
That's good. Because I have a question.
I knew there was a reason you looked so happy.
Mr. Carter opens his tablet. Emma immediately becomes suspicious. Experience has taught her that questions from Mr. Carter usually contain a lesson.
Who handles client communication?
Rian.
Who coordinates project schedules?
Sophia.
Very good. Who should you contact if you need detailed project information?
Sophia.
Excellent.
Emma smiles. For the first time all morning, she feels completely confident. Then Mr. Carter asks another question.
And where's the meeting room Sophia was using?
Room 204.
Impressive. And which department sits beside client services?
The confidence disappears immediately. Emma knows she has seen the department. She remembers walking past it. She remembers the hallway. She even remembers the sign. But the answer refuses to appear.
I knew this was coming.
Did you?
The moment you open the tablet.
Any guesses?
Several. None of them feel reliable.
Mr. Carter laughs, not because Emma forgot, because forgetting is exactly what happens when people try to remember too much at once.
You're doing what most new employees do.
Which is?
Trying to memorize everything.
Isn't that the goal?
No. The goal is knowing where to find information when you need it. Nobody remembers everything, not even after years of experience.
That's surprisingly comforting.
Emma looks around the office again. For the first time all morning, she stops trying to memorize every room, every department, and every responsibility. Instead, she starts focusing on connections. Who works together? Who helps whom? And where she can find answers when she needs them. Suddenly, the office feels less overwhelming. A notification appears on Mr. Carter's tablet. He glances at the screen.
Perfect timing.
Why do I feel nervous every time you say that?
Because you're learning. And because the next challenge involves people instead of departments.
That doesn't sound dangerous.
It depends how good you are with names.
Emma immediately remembers something. There are still dozens of names she barely remembers. And unlike meeting rooms, people have a habit of noticing when you forget them. The next lesson was about to become much more personal. The lunch hour is approaching. The office atmosphere becomes slightly more relaxed. Employees leave meeting rooms, finish phone calls, and gather in small groups for informal conversations before lunch. So far today, Emma has learned about responsibilities, departments, locations, and workplace connections. But there is one problem she still hasn't solved: names. Because unlike meeting rooms, people tend to notice when you forget them. Mr. Carter and Emma walk toward the break area. Several employees are talking nearby while waiting for coffee.
Can I admit something?
That's usually how interesting conversations begin.
I remember responsibilities better than names.
Most people do.
At least responsibilities don't get offended.
Mr. Carter laughs. Before he can reply, Sophia enters the break area carrying a notebook. A moment later, Rian joins them with a coffee cup. The group gathers around one of the standing tables.
How's the office tour going?
Surprisingly well. I've only gotten lost once.
Only once that you're willing to admit.
Let's stay focused on the success stories.
The conversation continues naturally. For a few minutes, nobody talks about departments. Nobody talks about responsibilities. Nobody talks about workplace structure. They simply talk. And somehow, that feels harder.
So what's been the most difficult part of today?
Honestly, remembering information.
Information is easy. Try remembering names.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Rian points toward a nearby group of employees talking near the coffee machine.
Do you know any of their names?
Absolutely.
Really?
No, not even a little.
Everyone laughs, even Emma, because at this point, pretending would be pointless.
You know, most people think they're supposed to remember every name immediately.
Aren't they?
Not unless they have a supercomputer hidden somewhere.
Which would explain a lot about Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter raises an eyebrow. The group immediately finds this amusing.
I'm standing right here.
And yet the theory remains unchallenged.
The conversation grows lighter. For the first time all day, Emma stops worrying about getting things right. She stops trying to memorize every detail and simply enjoys the conversation. Then a thought occurs to her.
Can I ask something?
Of course.
If I forget someone's name, what should I do?
Ask.
Just ask?
Just ask.
Trust me, people would rather repeat their name than watch you avoid them for 3 weeks.
Emma laughs. The answer sounds obvious, yet somehow it's exactly what she needed to hear.
Most workplace communication problems are solved the same way:
By asking questions?
by asking questions.
For a moment, Emma thinks about the entire day. Every useful thing she has learned started with a question. Who handles clients? Where is the meeting room? How are departments connected? Every answer began the same way. Someone asked. A notification appears on Mr. Carter's tablet. He checks the screen and smiles.
That smile worries me.
Good. It should.
Why?
Because I think you're ready for the final challenge.
Emma immediately regrets asking. Whatever the final challenge was, she had a feeling it would involve remembering far more than she currently could. And this time, there would be no office map to help her.
The lunch break is ending. Employees gradually return to their desks. Conversations become quieter as meetings resume and work picks up across the office. For most of the morning, Mr. Carter guided the tour. He explained, he observed, he answered questions. But learning eventually reaches a point where explanations are no longer enough. Sooner or later, someone has to try it alone. As Emma and Mr. Carter leave the break area, his tablet vibrates. He reads a message and stops walking. Please tell me that's not another challenge.
Actually, it is.
I knew it.
Good. That means you're learning patterns.
Mr. Carter opens a document on his tablet and studies it for a moment. Then he looks at Emma, not as a mentor, not as a guide, but as if he's expecting her to solve something herself.
I need your help.
That sounds suspiciously important.
It's not complicated, but I want you to handle it.
Handle what?
A meeting has been moved from one room to another. Sophia needs the updated room information. Rian needs the revised meeting schedule. And I need confirmation once both of them receive it.
Emma immediately notices something. This isn't one task, it's 3. And for the first time all day, Mr. Carter isn't giving instructions on how to complete it.
That's it?
That's it.
You said that like it was easy.
I believe in you.
That makes one of us.
Mr. Carter smiles and walks away, leaving Emma alone with the task. For a few seconds, she simply stands there, thinking. Earlier this morning, she would have panicked. Now, she starts organizing the information. Sophia needs room details. Rian needs schedule updates. Then she needs to report back to Mr. Carter. Simple, at least in theory. Emma heads towards Sophia's meeting room first. This time, she doesn't get lost. A small victory. Sophia is reviewing documents when Emma arrives.
Sorry to interrupt. Mr. Carter asked me to let you know the project review meeting has been moved to conference room B.
Good thing you caught me. I was heading to the old room. Thanks, Emma.
You're welcome.
1 task completed, 2 remaining. Emma immediately heads toward client services. Unlike earlier, she already knows who she's looking for. Rian is finishing a conversation when Emma approaches.
Do you have a minute?
Sure. What's up?
The meeting schedule changed. Mr. Carter asked me to make sure you received the updated version.
Perfect. I needed that information. Thanks.
No problem.
As Emma walks away, something feels different. Not because the task was difficult, because it wasn't. The difference is that she knew exactly where to go, exactly who to find, and exactly what information they needed. A few hours ago, that would have seemed impossible. A few minutes later, Emma finds Mr. Carter near the conference area.
Mission accomplished?
Sophia has the room update. Rian has the revised schedule. And nobody looked confused.
Excellent.
That's it?
What were you expecting?
Fireworks, a certificate, maybe a promotion.
Let's not get carried away.
Emma laughs, but beneath the humor, she notices something important. The task itself wasn't the lesson. The lesson was knowing who needed what information and where to find them. Without realizing it, she had already started thinking like part of the team.
Ready for the final challenge?
You keep saying that, and somehow it never sounds reassuring.
Good, because this one won't involve maps, or meeting rooms, or hallway signs.
That somehow sounds worse.
Emma follows Mr. Carter back toward the main office area. The tour is almost over, but before the day ends, Mr. Carter plans to find out exactly how much Emma remembers. And for the first time all afternoon, Emma feels nervous again.
The afternoon is quieter than the busy morning. Most employees are focused on their work. The office still buzzes with activity, but the pace feels more organized now. For the first time all day, Emma feels confident, not because she knows everything, because she no longer feels lost. She knows who to ask, she knows where to go, and she finally understands how different parts of the office connect. At least, that's what she thinks. Mr. Carter stops beside a meeting room.
One last challenge.
You keep saying that.
This time, I mean it.
That's exactly what you said last time.
Mr. Carter opens the meeting room door. Inside, several employees are preparing for an upcoming discussion. Some Emma recognizes, others she doesn't.
Imagine you're helping organize this meeting. One employee needs project information. Another needs client updates. A third person is looking for the revised meeting schedule. Who would you send them to?
Emma immediately notices something. A few hours ago she would have panicked. Now she starts thinking through the situation, not memorizing, connecting.
Project information?
Why?
Because she coordinates project details and schedules.
Good. Client updates?
Rian, he's usually the point of contact for clients.
And the revised meeting schedule?
Emma pauses, not because she doesn't know, because she's thinking carefully.
That depends.
Depends on what?
If it's project-related, Sophia would probably have the latest version. But if someone only needs general meeting information, there might be several people who can help.
For a moment, Mr. Carter says nothing. Then he smiles.
That's the best answer you've given all day.
Really?
Because you stopped looking for one perfect answer. You're starting to understand how people work together.
Emma hadn't expected that. All morning she thought success meant memorizing names. Then she thought it meant remembering departments. Then she thought it meant finding the right meeting rooms. Now she realizes something different. The office isn't a collection of separate pieces. It's a network. And the real skill is knowing how those pieces connect. Just then, Sophia walks into the room. A moment later, Rian follows.
Are we interrupting something?
Not at all. We were just finishing today's office tour. And? I think Emma finally understands how this place works.
Let's not get carried away. I understand more than I did this morning. That's different.
Everyone laughs, and for the first time all day, Emma doesn't feel like the new employee trying to catch up. She feels like part of the conversation, part of the team.
That's enough progress for one day.
Thank goodness.
Don't celebrate yet. Tomorrow you'll actually have to remember all of it.
There it is. I was wondering when the bad news would arrive.
The group laughs once more. The office tour may be ending, but Emma knows her learning journey is only beginning. And somehow, that no longer feels intimidating.
Late afternoon inside the office. The busiest part of the day has passed. Employees continue working at their desks while a few small meetings wrap up behind glass conference room walls. Sunlight filters through the windows, casting long shadows across the workspace. The office looks exactly the same as it did this morning. The same desks, the same meeting rooms, the same departments, the same people. Yet somehow everything feels different. Not because the office changed, because Emma did. Emma walks back toward her desk. As she passes through the office, familiar faces greet her. Some wave, some smile, some continue working while exchanging a quick hello. Earlier that morning, many of those people felt like strangers. Now, each face seems connected to a role, a responsibility, a purpose. It's strange.
What is?
Nothing here actually changed, but it feels completely different.
That's usually what happens when you understand something better.
Emma looks across the office. She notices Rian speaking with a client, Sophia discussing project details with a colleague, employees moving between departments, information flowing from one team to another. Earlier, all of it looked confusing. Now, it looks organized.
This morning, I thought an office was just people doing different jobs.
And now?
Now, it feels more like a team. Everyone depends on someone else.
Exactly.
For a moment, Emma thinks about everything she learned today. Responsibilities, departments, meeting rooms, names, workplace communication. The lessons weren't really about the office. They were about people.
Can I be honest?
That depends on how honest.
When you said office tour, I expected something much less complicated.
And much less interesting.
That's probably true.
Both laugh. The conversation feels easier now, more natural. The nervousness from the morning is gone. A notification appears on Emma's computer screen. She glances at it briefly, then smiles.
Good news?
Actually, I know exactly who I need to talk to about this.
Mr. Carter nods. No explanation is necessary. That simple sentence tells him everything he needs to know.
Looks like today's tour was successful.
Let's not make any final decisions until tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Across the office, employees begin preparing to finish their day. Meetings conclude, documents are organized. Conversations slowly fade. Another workday is coming to an end. But for Emma, something important has just begun. Confidence. Not the confidence of knowing everything, the confidence of knowing how to find answers. And sometimes, that's even more valuable.
Ready for tomorrow?
That depends.
On what?
Whether tomorrow includes another surprise office tour.
No. Tomorrow is worse.
I knew there was a catch.
Emma laughs, but she can't help feeling curious. If today's lesson was about understanding people and responsibilities, what challenge could possibly come next? One thing is certain, her workplace journey is only getting started. Late afternoon. The office is gradually becoming quieter as employees finish their work and prepare to leave for the day. The office looks peaceful now, very different from the busy, confusing place Emma walked into this morning. Or perhaps the office hasn't changed at all. Perhaps Emma has. Emma shuts down her computer and organizes her desk. For a moment, she pauses and looks around the office one last time. Rian is finishing a conversation with a client. Sophia is reviewing the final notes from a meeting. Employees move comfortably through the office, completing the last tasks of the day. This morning, all of it seemed complicated. Now, it feels familiar.
You know, I thought today's tour would be about offices.
And?
It was mostly about people.
Now you're getting it.
Emma smiles. For the first time since joining the company, she feels less like a visitor and more like a member of the team. There is still a lot to learn. New responsibilities, new challenges, new mistakes waiting to happen. But that no longer worries her. Because now she knows something important. She doesn't have to figure everything out alone.
So, what's tomorrow's challenge?
You really want to know?
Maybe.
Tomorrow you'll learn what happens when nobody understands the instructions.
That sounds concerning.
It should.
Emma laughs, but she can't hide her curiosity. After all, every challenge so far has taught her something new, and tomorrow's challenge would be no different. The office lights begin to dim as employees head home. Another workday comes to an end. But for Emma, the journey is only beginning. Thank you for joining Emma's Workplace Journey. We'll see you in the next episode.